Hey everyone, here's a really quick recording on getting started with Twitter, including selecting a Twitter handle and getting your bio set up. So the first thing you're going to need to do is choose a Twitter handle. That's the name that you've chosen for yourself that's preceded by an @ sign, and it's the way that people are going to refer to you on Twitter. So a couple things to think about when you're setting up your handle. First of all, remember that you actually can change your handle at any time, but it's not wise to do it a whole lot because people will start to get to know you by that handle, and so it'll be kind of confusing if you are switching it around all the time. So you want to make sure that your Twitter handle is something that's professional and that portrays the identity that you're trying to put out there. So if you're an educator, you want to remember that you've got students and maybe students' parents who are seeing this representation of you. So keeping it professional is definitely a good idea. Some people like to include their names in their Twitter handles, but some people will, choose something totally different. So that's really up to you. Also remember that your Twitter handle is going to be something that people need to include in tweets when they're referencing you, so you want to make sure it's not super long because that's going to take up some of the 140 characters that you're allowed in one tweet. So my Twitter handle is @KBHildebrandt. Unfortunately, my last name is a little long, but I'm making do with it. The next thing you're going to need to do is set up an image for yourself. So when you're picking an image, you want to make sure that ideally it's a picture just of you, not of a whole lot of people, because it's nice to know that who you're actually talking to when you're chatting with someone on Twitter. So it's helpful if it's a picture of you that we can actually kind of make out and distinguish who you are. Also, it's helpful if you have an image of yourself and not an animal. Some people choose to put, their cat on there, and it's not really helpful to others because they're, again, not able to see who you are. So picking a fairly close-up, professional-looking picture is really wise, and it's super important that you choose a picture early on, just because when you still have that egg as your image, people aren't going to really want to follow you or to engage with you because they're not even sure if you're a real account or if you're just sort of a spam account. And finally, you want to make sure that you have a nice bio set up. So you want to make sure that your bio actually represents who you are. So if I check out my own bio, I have my current position, which is a PhD candidate, and then I'm also using some hashtags to show you kind of where I might be participating on Twitter, what kinds of conversations I'm going to be a part of. So just to take a look at a few others, if I look at Carmen Halata, for instance, she is a teacher in Regina, so she's got a few things about her. She's got that she's a mother, she's an instructional consultant, she identifies as a wife and a grad student, and she's got a little bit of humor there too. And she also has her personal blog site linked on there, so that's another really helpful way of determining and kind of defining who she is online. And then to get a sense of maybe a new teacher account, if I look, for instance, at Kara Fidelak, she's got a picture of her teaching, actually, and it's pretty clear who she is just because she is with a classroom of children. And you'll see she identifies as an education student, and she's also, again, got some hashtags that'll tell you what conversation she might be part of. And this is important because this is the place that a lot of people will look if they're determining whether or not to follow you. So you want to make sure that you give a good sense of who you are. So that's just a few really quick tips on setting up your Twitter account, your bio, and your photo, and hopefully that was helpful.